A BB for the straight black proud brothers and sisters. It's your brother DC Radical 1 with another episode of DC's Radical Thoughts. Excuse me. And this one is called Accept Your Own and Be Yourself. Now, this phrase is traceable back to the longtime leader of the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad. And, someone asked me, they say, hey, how come you don't have any positivity in the videos, or you don't have any solutions in your videos? And I will admit that I'm not a very positive frame of mind. Like, our situation, in my estimation, is dire. I would like to be wrong. I don't think I am. But one of the base of any solutions we have really are summed up in that phrase: to accept our own and be ourselves. Because if you look at the root of most of the problems for black people and the black community, most of the root of our problems are that we are doing things that are other than ourselves. And what I mean by that is, if you look at us historically, culturally, whether here in America or in Africa or anywhere else in the world, the things we're doing now that are popular are the exact opposite of the things we have done for thousands of years. So you're going to say, all right, DC, give me an example. Okay. One thing that most people don't know is that our population rate, our birth rate, is down here in America. And all right, so let's take a look at why, or some of the reasons why, I should say. Well, number one, we have a higher rate of homosexuality in the black community than we've ever had in history. Like, I don't think anyone can debate that. Even people who advocate for homosexuality will tell you that, right? They may argue, oh, people used to be in the closet more, this or that. Doesn't matter. When something becomes more acceptable, then more people will do it because it's deemed acceptable, right? So if you have higher rates of homosexuality, then you're going to have lower rates of birth eventually, right? So that's just an example. But if you look at us historically, if you look at our art, you look at our music, you look at the parts of culture that are readily apparent, right? We have, black people have always been largely heterosexual. We've been culturally heterosexual, right? Our base culture is heterosexuality, whereas Europeans' base culture is homosexuality. If you look at what they consider their great civilizations, or their foundation civilizations like Greek and Rome, because they always tell us about Greece and Rome, homosexual. But if you go back to Africa, you go back to ancient Kemet, and Nubia and places like that, black people have always been heterosexual. We've always celebrated the union between black man and black woman. We've always celebrated the greatness of the woman, the importance of the woman and child. All of that has been our culture. Like, you can see the statues, you can see the art, and this goes not only just back then to West Africa, and even over here. Like, that theme has been the running theme of our culture for thousands of years. And now it's not. And the result of that is just simply less black people. Right? So when I say accept your own and be yourself, for us, accepting your own would simply be black men choosing black women choosing black men. So not just the heterosexuality part of it, but the racial loyalty part of it, right? For years, decades, I should say, there's been an open, and you see it amongst the rich and the entertainers and stuff like that. There's been an open fascination with black people. It's more at one time more so men than women, I would say. Well, a fascination with the European female from black men. and now lately a fascination with the European male from black women. Well, that's not how you produce black people. So we get in a situation where we get in these relationships, we produce non-black people. Many times these people become prominent, and then we look to them to help us in our situation, and they don't even identify as black, or they publicly don't identify as black, or they claim to be black, but they provide us with quote-unquote solutions that don't benefit us, and they cause all this type of confusion, and it's just a mess, to the point that now there are biracial people. This is great. There are biracial people, mixed people, whatever you want to call them, who are asking black people to stop mating with racist white people. Well, let's be honest. In America, all white people are racist to some degree, because the essence of the country is racist. The foundation of the country is racist. The nature of the country is anti-blackness. And the reason it's anti-blackness and not say anti-blackness and like Native American is because they neutralize the Native American, so they don't have to demonize them and attack them in various ways, shapes, and forms, because they've neutralized them, right? I remember going to the Native American Museum and seeing, the remnants of them and what was done and things like that. And so, by the time they put you in the museum, baby, it's a wrap. And that's where we're at. If we keep going the way we're going, it's going to be a Black American Museum, or they probably will call it American Negro Museum, because there won't be many of us left, because we will have mixed ourselves out and homoed ourselves out of existence, right? So that's one aspect of it. But you look at another aspect of it. Excuse me. We talking about accept your own and being yourself. Economically, if we're being completely honest, our economic stakes in this country are very small, because we don't have a business class. The people and I wish somebody would do a study on this. But if we look at per capita, the people who generate the most money or receive the most income, I'll say, in our communities as a collective, there's probably more money received by black people who are in some aspect of the entertainment field, where movies, television, music, and sports, than there are the business class in America. I venture to say that, despite I believe we have more entrepreneurs and business people by far at like sheer numbers. And if we don't, then we in even worse shape than I thought, right? But the money, the capital that they get, none of it that the entertainers get, or the money that passes through their hands, a very small percentage of it is put to use for the collective community. Now, I'm not saying that a person that works at their job has to give away all their money, because this is a job, and I understand. And many times one of the things that happens is these people get this money very young, and this money has to last the rest of their life. I understand that. But if you want people at the top of the NBA, for example, $250 million when you're already 30, I think that could last you the rest of your life. I think that, if you know how to manage your money, if you've invested in things like that, out that $250 million, you should be able to take $5 million and get with other people in your tier group and have a $50 million or $100 million business investment fund for, let's say, the area where you work or the area where you come from, or whatever the case may be. Who's doing that? A venture capital firm, even. Who's doing that? Where is our business class? Where are the people to utilize this capital for the benefit of the community? Where the venture capital firms Where are our lobbying groups to lobby for us, since politicians are obviously for sale? Because APAC exists, so politicians are for sale. Where are our people to do this? And so, just being honest, by building our own businesses and supporting our own businesses, then we could maybe have some more influence in this country, because the government's for sale. just be completely honest, right? But in order to do that, you have to what? Accept your own. Means what? Working with other black people to aggregate money, and then hire black people to keep the wealth in your community, and then take that money and buy from other black people, and continue the process. That's an aspect of accepting your own and being yourself. And if we would do this, not just here, but start here, but then do it internationally, where, let's say, okay, you have a business where you deal with personal care products, and now you can get the money, make shea butter based products, and you can import it directly from Ghana, right? You bring it directly from Ghana, it's shipped here, you make your product, and then you can send your finished product back to Ghana, or you can go over there, and you have enough money, you can build a factory and bring this finished product here and set up stores with your product, and that's one set of products, and go from there. And so you're doing import and export, but you're doing import and export that empowers black people here and empowers black people on the continent. But we don't think like that. No one thinks like that, and the people who think like that don't have the access to the capital, because they have no way to get in contact with the black people who have the wealth, and the black people who have the wealth don't want to work with other black people. So we don't want to accept our own and be ourselves. Here's another aspect. We have a literacy problem in America, right? Which kind of contributes to all the other problems we have. We have a literacy problem in America. But we have thousands of people who are teachers. And we have black institutions that we already have. And we don't put any money into these black institutions. And we don't send our children to these black institutions. But then we wonder why our children can't read and write. And then since people can't read and write, then they can't do anything else. And so therefore we can't come together, because we're just not intelligent enough to come together. Because we don't have the reading and comprehension skills and the capacity to think properly or to think deeply. So literally, one of the things that I think would help us realistically would be learning or developing our own language, and then that would help us in a lot of different ways. It would help. Language helps create new neural pathways. It would allow us to think differently and think outside of this psychological and cultural container that we've been put in. And as our children learn this new language, a new way of thinking will occur. And then that, again, would help us to what? Accept our own and be ourselves. Now, this, of course, would be, it'd be a difficult project, but it's something that we have to think about. Every other group here that comes here has their own unique language or languages that allows them to communicate amongst themselves, and allows them to think outside the box of quote unquote Americanism. And one of the things that was taken from us, right? We never talk about this. One of the things that was taken from us was our languages. But why is that no one ever thought about? Why don't we develop our own languages? Do we have our own slang? Yes. But I'm talking about our own language. Like, I just think that's a revolutionary concept, and it's implemented. If we had implemented it, it started say 100 years ago, and it was the standard black language, I just think we'd be in a different place, because we would understand that we are us and they are them. which is a big part of our problem. The reason we're going to accept our own and be ourselves is because we think we're them, which I talked about previously, right? And of course, another thing, and we've tried to do this, but it's always been connected to someone else. At some point, we have to create a spirituality for ourselves that's different from the, for lack of a better word, dominant society. If we implement even a handful of the things that I've discussed, we would be so far better off and so far ahead. And if we're being honest, right, because the inspiration for this really was the Nation of Islam, because I've had a discussion with some people about the nation back in the day and how it used to be and how effective it was. We know, based on what the nation was, especially during the time of Malcolm X and what he helped build, we know that these things that we've discussed work. But in the modern times, a lot of people haven't seen it. These seem like weird, radical concepts. But being completely honest, for us to thrive, right? Not just survive, but to thrive, literally, all we have to do is to accept our own and be ourselves. And I think a lot of people have to overcome the fear of their own blackness, because a lot of people, being completely honest, they want to be friends with our enemies. And that's not healthy. You want to have the respect of your enemies. You have the respect of people. You don't have to worry about them being your friend. Respect is more important than fake love and all that stuff, in my humble opinion. But that's all I have for that. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's your brother DC Radical 1. With that, I say a BB for ODA and straight black pride. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_ONE. And the Cashapp is $DC Radical 1. Again, thank you for subscribing. A BB for ODA and straight black pride.